got a lot of people there waiting for us to come on. And today's Ask Me Anything, I'm joined by Mr. Chris Palmer SEO, who I always just thought was a cartoon head. Every time I see you popping up in all the chats, welcome, Chris, to the show.
Awesome to be here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing what you've got to say. You've been talking to me on Facebook and stuff. You know, we spoke about it before, doing something together just to get a nice Black Hat SEO video going. And that's what everyone wants to know, is Black Hat stuff. But while we're waiting on the audience coming in, prior to just coming on live, you were talking about some of the stuff you do with cloud platforms and stuff like that. So can you give us a little teaser of what you've been up to in that side of things?
Yeah, a small teaser, sure, absolutely. Primarily what we're working with is multiple different cloud platforms, and I'm sure you're noticing if you've been on there that you're able to test particular applications that maybe you're deploying. Now, that could be good for tons of reasons, but mostly what we're aiming for is lead generation and for, leaving reviews, things along those lines. Anything that it's coming from a trusted IP set, it ends up sticking. So that's what we're basically leaning towards, localized using their IPs, basically. Long story short.
Yeah, no, I think, local SEO is something that everyone has to start out by doing.
Absolutely.
And, it's the best place to start as a small business. How are you going to make money online? Whether you're a plumber or whatever it's going to be, you have to leverage something. And Google My Business is the first way.
Right.
Easy money for someone like you to do stuff. And just before we actually go into that, guys, we will be taking questions. I'm going to pick Chris's brain for the first couple of minutes, and then we'll go into questions. How you learn SEO is not a question we're going to answer today. If you don't know SEO, then this is probably not going to be for you. This is more about Black Hat and some of the more intricate details of it. We're not going to waste anyone's time by how you learn SEO. There's a free course I've got, guys, if you want to learn SEO. But please do not beg for an answer here on today's show. Black Hat, strictly Black Hat, and we can talk about SEO in general another time. So anyway, before we go into the good questions, we'll talk about GMBs there and how you can get quick money from GMBs. And I know from my experience, I was out in America in October last year, and I know that Americans are very, very big on GMBs, in my opinion. Not so much here. Obviously, ranking, doing a whole load of stuff and selling it to eLocal or whatever. But what is that still working really well? The kind of GMB stuff, like the kind of hacks around about it. When I'm talking about hacks, I don't mean stealing unverified listings is one way of doing it, but there's a lot of other cool flaws within GMB that were working really well at that time. Are they still working well for you?
I'm seeing that more trusted data is needed in order to bypass things like postcards and things along those lines. You're putting in those mass sheets as if you had a bunch of locations like a franchise and uploading them like it used to work. Doesn't work anymore. The process it takes time. You need to be able to feed trusted data to Google, give it some time, and then you can apply without any postcard. That's in the nutshell without giving too much, right?
I think GMB, as I say, the amount of money people can make from it is frightening, flabbergasting. But there you go.
And really too, and I'm really only speaking from a stance of one of our main lead generations is, I've talked about it before within my small group, is we send out postcards for timeshares and, travel clubs. And then when the leads come in, right, from us sending them out, we also have multiple properties. So we can send those calls to different call centers is basically what it is. And then you get paid something that's called per show, people that show up.
Yeah.
So that's really our angle is within that industry. And that's what we do. But it all starts with the postcard, but having those entities throughout Google, it just helps,
Yeah. No, entities is where it's all at. Someone's asking if you've got any GMB proximity hacks, Shaun Mitchell.
Well, I think that proximity hacks start primarily with the traffic. I think once your brand has become trusted, like say if you're inside of your GMB, there's a green bar and a yellow bar, right? Once your branded search is high and you're considered trusted, then you can start showing up for other searches that are farther away. That's the only way to truly expand your proximity, unless you have more GMBs. That's my humble opinion.
Cool. I'm just going to quickly answer a couple of things here. James Muir, good to see you here. It will be Black Hat everything internet marketing. We don't want to just waste it on SEO. So anything that's breakable, automatable.
Sure. It doesn't have to be local. I mean, I love local. I like affiliate. I mean, we're playing a lot with CTR and traffic. I mean, I love trying to find what a competitor is doing, seeing that they're about to launch. And I know, hey, with a little bit of CTR and traffic, once we figure that out, we're noticing a bump, right? In rankings. If I could steal that spot for a couple of days, irrelevant to me, right? If I can make a couple grand in a few days by just a few, right, that little bump, I'm more than happy. So it doesn't have to be local. It could be, affiliate. It could be traffic. It could be testing, whatever the case is, Craig, whatever you want to do.
So Shaun Mitchell is asking, right, but what tactics are you using? So even when you mentioned their click-through rate and doing stuff like that, is there any tools or any funny hacks around about getting click-through rate manipulation going?
Well, the two that I really like is, I'll give one that's more widespread and known, which is going to be using like micro workers. But there's other sites that are like micro workers that have a different range of IPs that are a little bit more trusted. It's all about that trust in the entity, right? So there's a lot of other services out there that are going to allow that click through and that traffic manipulation. But another one where the next step is, other than using services, is directing paid traffic that is cloaked on a website and then drive a click that is keyword targeted. Then you start getting those jumps that you want. So that's the tactics that I like to use. You have to mix in trusted with the BS. You can get manipulation clicks, but you have to spend money too. It's both, in my opinion.
Well, I think for me, what's working really well at the moment's taking advantage of the cheap Facebook stuff that's out there just now. I'm getting stuff for a penny a click.
Reddit.
Advertise to the Indian or the some other audience as well, and that works really well for me. I can get serious amount of traffic, real traffic from a range of different IPs from the Indian audience, for a penny a click. So you can also do that as well.
With those affiliate offers, it's hard with the Facebook because at first it has to not be shown exactly what we're doing at first. You get what I'm saying? Especially when you're sending the Facebook traffic. So there's a little bit of a process there. I'm sure you're well aware of, right?
Yeah. Guys, while you're out there, if you can like and subscribe to the channel and the video and all that stuff, got to make sure our click-through rate's good as well.
Yes, too.
James Muir.
Off, Craig. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, brother. I'm just happy to be here to talk to you. That's amazing.
I know you're very super excited. That's
I'm always like this.
It's great. I like excitable people. Shows a good bit of passion. But
I love
any fast cash wins that's working now from James Muir? I'm not sure if I've cut off. Can someone put in the comments if I've cut off or if Chris has cut off? Yes, I think Chris is cut off. I'm just double checking. I will get Chris back. I think he got that hyper that his internet crashed, but we'll get Chris back in a moment. Super excitable guy. And why am I skipping your questions? I've not seen any questions from LLT Guidance. But LLT Guidance, there are a number of different people here, and we will go through relevant questions as and when they come in. And the questions, we may skip some questions, guys, purely based on the fact that we want them to be Black Hat. That's why people are here. We will wait on Chris coming back. I'm just going to go onto Facebook and make sure he does come back, which I'm sure he will. Sure, it's just a temporary. Yep, Chris is back. Chris is back.
I'm not sure what happened there. Did you hear me? I was yelling at the router. Are you kidding me right now?
I actually thought it was me. I'm sitting like, shit, is that me? But yeah, we can, at least we know this is a real live recording.
Sorry.
But, so James Moore asked, any fast cash wins that's working now? We didn't get anything. That's when it cut out.
Oh, I mean, the fast cash wins are still always along those lines of CTR and traffic. I mean, as far as for me, my fast cash wins are within the GMB in the local space. Or if you can start localizing affiliate offers, you'll notice that the competition is a lot lower. Yes, you're getting lower clicks, you're getting lower, but irrelevant. If I can get 100 per, right? If I can get 10 in a day, who cares? So I think that that's where the quick wins are. Traffic and CTR and localizing affiliate and local. That's where the quick wins are, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I would tend to agree with that. You can do a lot with that. Troy Dowden, does the amount of referral domain names help a site in local?
Well, are we going back and forth, or do you want me to laugh off?
Oh, well, I'll put the questions to you. We'll get your opinion, because people are probably sick and tired of listening to my opinion.
No. They haven't heard your talks yet. That's why they start listening to those, then they'll have more. But here, does the amount of referral domains a site has help in local? Well, are you referring to local as in GMB and in maps? Because that's totally irrelevant, the amount of links, and don't send links to your GMB. All right. It's non-effective. However, if you're looking for organic rankings, your referring domains are one of the top factors aside from the new factor, which is CTR and traffic. So yes, definitely going to help you, but not in maps or GMB. All right.
Yeah, that's all about citations, name, address, and postcode being consistent. And yeah, easy as that for GMB. Olesa from Ukraine, your thoughts on GMB lead gen prospects?
The people coming in, I love them. They're my opportunity. I have nothing but respect. And you're talking about the people that are coming in that I send out.
Yeah,
that's a prospect, right? I love them. Without them, this type of business changed my entire life. So I love anybody that comes into my my little area, my funnel, whatever you want to call it. So love them.
So here's a question from me: have you used Go High Level yet?
No.
There's a great tool there called Go High Level that's just out. Well, I'm just aware of it, and it's great for creating funnels. So it's got like click funnels built into it. You can do text message marketing. You can do voice drops. You can do all sorts of shit on it. I'll send you a link to it after this. It's really cool.
I like that. The SMS, in my opinion, is where it's. I love that I can start spamming people in their pocket. So it's I'm always trying to get the numbers. So long story short.
Matt Sterkenberg, what is the risk reward of partnerships, backlink exchanges, directory listing on our website, guest blog posting, backlink exchange?
Well, Google loves backlinks. Google loves you linking. It's when you're using links for manipulation is when you run into a trouble. All links are awesome until deemed bad. So I go for it. That's up to your risk tolerance. If you're working for, I don't like working for, if you're working with a client or somebody, you can never risk. But if you're working on your own projects and you want to roll the dice to win, you have to gamble to win. So I go for it sometimes depending on what I have invested. So that'd be my advice.
Good man. We'll roll on to the next one.
Sure.
What is the ultimate usefulness of mass page generators like Page Gen Pro for local and powering up Web 2.0s, mini nets, etc.? Is there any usefulness in them for the local stuff?
Absolutely. Surely. I mean, if you can cover more keywords, right? Yes, I think that mass pages, as long as you can get a certain percentage on the page to compete with the rest of the content, producing more pages is going to help you. Now, I wouldn't get completely ridiculous, but if you can cover all keywords in your particular niche or sector, yes, you're going to see a benefit. That would be my opinion.
And when you're seeing people using things like Page Gen Pro for local, you're seeing that working. Like, I've got a friend, so I've never really touched personally these kind of mass page generators. I've always thought, they can't work and all that. But, I've got a friend who's in a very, very niche market who literally has more than 30,000 pages, which are pretty much 99.5% duplicate content, and the fucker ranks for everything.
Sure.
Everything. So obviously there's this. I think it might also come down to the level of competition. If I was to slap that out in the SEO industry for every town and city in the UK, I'm pretty sure it probably wouldn't work. Or would you disagree with that?
I think what you mean going as in more foreign, like UK and going other countries. Yeah. I think it would work better. Maybe not UK, because I think UK is along the lines of USA, but I'm noticing a lot of the guys that I'm JVing with from, that I've been working with for some time, that's where they're pushing to, is more foreign, because the stuff that used to work here is working great, so I don't see anything wrong with it. If you can provide value to the end user, you're going to win.
And do you have any other mass page builders other than Page Gen Pro that you would use?
Personally, I do not use them. However, people that I've worked with use mass page builders, but I don't run them. No.
Cool. Interesting. So, Carol Rosane, are there any YouTube black hat tactics that you could share?
Well, I mean, I don't ever do anything on my particular page. However, the big win is in Premier Waiting, and that's all I'll say about that.
Oh, come on, give us more. I'm trying to do YouTube stuff.
The Premier Waiting and the engagement in the Premier Waiting, you'll notice the engagement and you'll stay sitting there. Now, you could schedule your video out for 30 days and stay ranking, especially if you have people waiting. So, I mean, you can check your SMM panels and look for, get somebody trusted for your Premier Waiting views. And I think you'll see at least some ranking boost. So, yeah, especially maybe if you're doing affiliate, maybe there's a live event coming up, something where you want that jump. But other than that, that's the only thing I've ever played with for live events to try to get people to another site.
Just to add to that as well, and I know we've kind of already touched on it, but engagement is a click-through rate is key for YouTube as well. You've also got small little tools like TubeBuddy, which will give you keywords, tags, and all that kind of stuff. Make sure you tag your video up properly and make sure you get that engagement on it. Don't go and buy some crappy Fiverr gig that gives you 500 views. That is not the same as 500 people actually watching or whatever. One of the reasons I'm doing this video today is to build my YouTube audience up and get engagement on here, answer people's questions, get smart guys like Chris on so that the thing actually works as well, because then everyone's getting value. Hopefully this YouTube video will rank. Hopefully my channel will grow. Hopefully you guys will like and subscribe and share and all that kind of good stuff. So please do it. And we can do more of this stuff because it's worthwhile, because we're able to rank and we can offer value. So yeah, I think the click-through rate is massive in YouTube as well.
Well, and I love that point. That's why it really clicked with me, you and I, was the helping. What happened to the help factor within the community? You know, I mean, hey, I love trying to make as much as the next guy, but what happened to the small community where we help each other? I love that aspect. I help you, you help me. You know a trick. Hey, I can do this, right? I miss that aspect. Everybody's for the grab, you know. I don't think it should be that way.
Well, I think you know, we've both been in this industry for long enough to know that people are not going to hand it all over on a plate anymore. But I do like genuinely helping people, and if I like the person and I like their approach to things, I'm always more than happy to bend over backwards and share tips with them, and I get a good feeling out of doing that as well. And you know, I don't really get paid for doing this stuff here either. I could keep it all to myself, but again, if it helps one guy, one thing,
and he'll tell 20 more people.
Yeah, yeah. So all good.
Sure.
H Huja is asking, what is the best black hat marketplace?
It depends on what you're looking for. I mean, I always have a fond, you know, with Fiverr and Upwork and all those, because I have working partners where we're still bringing in leads and I do small jobs. I've had hundreds of clients on those platforms. But as far as particular SEO marketplace, I like going to the forums, and I really like Facebook right now. I think that's where you're going to find your better services, you know, and stuff that's public might not be the best, but if you get somebody that's giving you a quality service, they have other stuff too. So reach out.
What about like the likes of Black Hat World and stuff like that? Is that still beneficial for you?
No. But again, those types of guys might have their public links, but they also have other networks as well. Yeah. I've been on those platforms for quite some time, and they have other link opportunities, is what I'm getting at. So,
so what you see in the shop window is not actually what they've got behind the counter, so to speak. They could have a shit ton more hidden away. Yeah, so. That's. I mean, I think that's the case with life in general, though. In SEO, people will have this little window, tell you what they've got and what they're good at, and then before you know it, you start rummaging underneath, and they've got all sorts of crazy shit and crazy scripts and crazy bots and God knows what else under there. Ryan Schultz, cranking down those energy drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Is that actually really just an energy drink? I'm sure there's some alcohol in there as well.
No.
The monster can full of vodka.
Not yet.
So on to the next one. I see a ton of links from Yahoo, Dogpile, Ask, etc. because we do paid search on MSN and second-tier search engines. Have you used paid search in this way to boost your SEO?
I mean, I see a ton of links from Yahoo. I mean, the only time I'm using paid search campaign is only to get traffic. I mean, so I don't understand links from Yahoo and Dogpile. I'm not sure exactly what he's asking here. You know, search to get.
I think the Dogpile, Ask, and all that kind of stuff are like crappy old things like that. And he's getting that because he does paid search in MSN. I didn't even know MSN had paid search.
I don't do it.
I've done, but I certainly I've not used paid search personally in that way myself, and I don't think by the way you're reacting, Chris, that you're using that either. Doesn't mean it doesn't work, by the way, because we don't do it does not mean it doesn't work. So if it works for you, great. But yeah, we'll go on to the next questions.
I still like Instagram. Mass accounts are still good for affiliate. You know, I was using paid search to get people to the page for that, but other than that, I don't mess around.
So, comedy viral, sir. Do bloggers use Black Hat SEO to rank higher?
Of course. Of course. I think anything that goes against the guidelines, I think we can all agree is considered Black Hat. I think there's different levels of Black Hat, you know, maybe when you're getting your niche edits, you know, and they're, you know, I think there's different levels to it. But Yes, I think they're most certainly using Black Hat. Yes.
I mean, I think my view on this whole black hat, white hat thing is just bullshit. It depends on what you do. It's more a case of what works, do what works. And, if Chris has to do some GMB stuff and buy some funky postcards or whatever the hell he does to make sure that he gets that address, someone will consider that black hat. He's doing what works. He takes action, and that's why he does well. If you're an agency, for example, you cannot say that you do that stuff. So that's where you kid on your white hat, and you kid on that everything's all ethical, and you paid a lot of money for that postcard. When the grand scheme of things, they're probably not doing what they're saying they're doing. And I really hate the whole black hat, white hat term as such, because people say I'm black hat, and I would just say, well, I'm not really. I'm not some spammer that's firing
my son hat.
But yeah, so it's madness. But people are always up to no good. If you were going to go by the Google gods black hat term, but yeah, do what works. Shaun Mitchell's asking, are you using Facebook ads for traffic? How are you making it look like Google search traffic? Are you sending traffic to the manipulated CID? So for me, I'm trying stuff like that just now. I'm just driving Facebook traffic to blog posts, to YouTube videos, whatever it's going to be. But I have been trying sending it to the Google search term as well. And I have seen some decent increases, so it looks like it's came from Google. So something I'm playing about with and seeing some positive stuff going on. What's your views on this, Chris?
Well, I mean, CID, customer ID, is going to be a lot different than a machine readable entity ID. And I think any traffic that's being sent through, these types of strings needs to be keyword traffic to get the type of boost that you're looking for. So that would be, I agree, but I think that you need to look at different strings and apply keyword traffic to it. And I think you'll get a better win.
Yeah. Interesting. Laurie Pastor check. I have over 24 domains in my disavow list that have malware blacklisted as per security. What is the purpose of these domains linking to mine?
Well, did you receive, I mean, you're using disavow, but did you receive an action or a decrease in ranking? And Craig and I were talking about this. I do not think that you should be adding or helping Google determine a spam link unless you're receiving a penalty or a decrease in rankings. So the purpose of those domains linking to you are a benefit unless they're not, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I mean, you don't take action unless you're almost certain that you've maybe got 5,000 backlinks in a day and you're trying to stop a penalty happening. But in most cases, I've had a partial penalty. I think someone blasted me or one of my websites with GSA for about 18 months solid before Google actually took any action. I think Google are able to determine what's crap and what's not anyway, so I wouldn't be worrying too much about it. Over 24, I wouldn't be worried at those figures. They could just be genuinely natural links or whatever.
And the link stuff is, if you're looking at links as a negative, you need to look to your server side. That's when the effects are going to start hurting you. That's what I'd be checking. Don't worry about the link. Start looking at your server logs. That's where you're going to find some issues, if you have any, right?
Yeah. So. Shaun Mitchell's just saying, we asked one of Shaun's questions earlier. Text message is killing it for home service clients. I think text message will kill it for a lot. Like even garages, people, I can easily go to a garage right now. And I was talking about this Go High Level campaign, this kind of software. I could say I could go to a car garage, for example, and say, give me everyone in May who's due an MOT, all that data you've got there, and send out a text message campaign. And I would pretty much be certain that we would have like 8 out of 10 booking into an online booking for MOTs and shit like that. So as long as text messaging is used in the right way, and you're not just spamming cold people, I think it's all about the data that the person's already got, and text messaging or voice drops, or setting up a sequence of a couple of text messages and a couple of voice drops, on automation using something like Go High Level is going to make sure that your local clients, home service, and everything else is going to do really well from it. So yeah, text message works very, very well for dentists and all that kind of stuff as well. So be all over it.
Same with mass accounts on Instagram and Facebook, sending out the comments. Excellent interaction, especially on Instagram still. So I like anything that's direct right to their pocket is amazing.
I'm not sure about this name. It's a funny name there, but is it safe to write about torrent websites and link to them from a non-torrent related white website just for educational purpose?
I mean, you can link out to wherever you would like. I think, and that's the same with links. Topical is irrelevant for now. To safeguard, we want to stay niche related and topically relevant, but I don't think that it matters right now. So if you want to link out, I mean, I don't think it's going to add any benefit to you. But if you want to do that, I don't see any issue with it, but I don't know why you would want to waste your efforts or resources on it,
Yeah. Cool. Guys, just make sure you do give us a little like for all this knowledge on the video if you're watching. Priyanka, how useful is the knowledge graph for SEO rankings?
I mean, I just think it's part of, that you're on the right path if that's starting to show. As far as rankings, it's just an indication to me that I'm starting to set up my campaign properly. I start to get the site links, the knowledge panel pops up, things along those lines. That's what I look for.
Cool. Miguel, I've used multiple services and even set up my own Mechanical Turk campaigns to help influence traffic and SERP CTR in an effort to improve rankings. They never work. How do you tackle CTR for SEO? So we have actually mentioned this a few times. I'm not sure, what else you're using or what campaigns you're using, but real traffic is where has to be that mix. If you start to use bots or tools like HitLeap or various other tools, they no longer work. I think, they probably used to work several years ago a lot better than they do now, but Google's always evolving. And I think the key trick to everything with Google is trying to make it look semi-real. That's where, you have to have some budget for some paid that works. So that's how I tackle CTR. But have you got anything to add to that, Chris?
Well, I would refrain from Mechanical Turk. I've had issues with them, because they have to set up things as testing, and I just ran into trouble with Mechanical Turk. I like other platforms, but I think you hit the nail on the head. It has to be a mixture, and that key phrase at the very end, you have to have a budget. Key, for everything. Yeah. So I think we touched on that pretty good there.
I think I'm always looking at cheaper ways to do it. Obviously, Facebook traffic or paid traffic has increased over the years. At the moment with this coronavirus, it's so fucking cheap, it's unreal. And I think if you have budget in this coronavirus period, you can get some, slam it right in there and take advantage of the low cost. But you also have other platforms like paid Quora traffic, paid Quora ads that go under the answers. And again, you can get some real low-cost, relevant traffic from that platform as well. So that's just another little one there.
And you have to be careful with when you're sending in the paid. On the page, when you're directing them to any type of affiliate, there has to be some type of non-time-based event on the page to get them to cloak it back to the other page of where it's going. You have to be very careful when you're sending in your paid traffic. So I just want to, as a caveat to what we're talking about, non-time-based events have to be on the page. You can't just set a script to redirect. It's going to get nabbed. So,
Jules Kids, can I send CTR keyword traffic that uses residential IPs to my money site? I have been. It's showing up in Search Console. Is it a good idea to continue?
Well, residential proxies are expensive. I think it is a great idea. I mean, I think it's just going to be non-cost effective to the benefit, so that would be my stance on it. I think it's going to work for you, but it's going to cost you in the long run, and it's risk to reward and money to reward, really. So I'd steer clear. Too much money. Even if you're using rotating residential proxies, they're even expensive, and they're in a pool with everybody and their brother doing the same stuff. Like, nah, I'd steer clear. Clear.
I would tend to agree with that, because if you're in a pool with some dirty guy like Chris, who's burnt out all those IP addresses and got them all blacklisted, then you are fucked. So
yeah. And 40 other guys just like me, right?
There's some absolute monsters out there who have shit doing stuff all day and all night that I've come across. So yeah, be careful. Just be aware of what's around you as well and what people are doing. I wouldn't share shit with no one in the SEO industry. Yeah.
I agree.
So Shingora is asking how's Google at tackling Black Hat SEO compared to a few years back?
I mean, I think that because of everything is more algorithmic, I think you can still get away with a lot of stuff. I just think that the timeline that you're going to get away with it is a lot shorter. Everything to a degree is still working. It's just you getting caught faster. So that's my opinion.
Yeah.
To a degree, everything works,
Well, that's it. It doesn't matter whether you're drinking alcohol. Everything in moderation is good. It's when you start, overdoing it, or drinking the whole bottle or whatever, shit hits the fan, so to speak. So yeah, everything in moderation is what I'm try and cover as many bases as you can. Don't focus just on slamming backlinks or slamming CTR. Try and do other stuff as well.
Oh yeah. The foundation has to be set for any type of tactic to work. I mean, your technical, the page speed has to be on point. Your on page is more important than links, and a link without traffic is non-relevant to me, in my opinion, at this point.
Yeah,
so I would just.
But even in terms of click-through rate and trying to manipulate that, you don't have to focus on one tactic. So what I'll tend to do is I'll use my email marketing list to funnel people in. I'll use a Facebook group to also funnel people in. I'll use some paid ads. I'll use my organic search and all that kind of stuff. And use multiple different ways of trying to manipulate that. You don't have to just focus on paid ads. Build an email list, build a YouTube community, build whatever. Don't build it on different platforms as well. Build your shit on TikTok, whatever it's going to be, and try to drive people from that platform to your platform and stuff like that. So I think you've got to don't focus all on just Facebook ads or ads or whatever. Mix it all up. But anyway, Serkan, does Google check keywords in Trustpilot reviews and Google reviews and know that they're fake reviews? Do those reviews help with rankings at all?
I don't think so. It's a third party. I think that reviews are helpful, but those types of reviews are easily manipulated. So I don't see why they would use that as a metric. It's not on their platform, but they do rank relatively high in some niches. So I think it's something that you need to watch for, but I don't think that it's a ranking factor by any means. And as far as those types of things, if you're getting those, as a quick tip, if you're getting any of those types of reviews that are really bad, if they're on your site first and you report them, they'll have to be removed because they could be duplicated. Just as a brief tip.
Also with that, I've done a talk like at one point last year, I can't remember where it was, and it was talking about local SEO and whether reviews are actually counted to help with your any kind of rankings. The top person in London for lawyers had 0 reviews. The person in second position had 54 reviews. So that's a clear demonstration that reviews do not carry that much weight anyway. And certainly it would be way too easy to manipulate. And I've had people in the past saying to me, the person in position E's got 42 reviews. I need to get 43. It's not based on that at all. So yeah, don't go chasing that.
It helps for customers when they come. Hey, this guy has 55 reviews. That's the only thing. But if we're talking about maps and moving up, it's all about clicks and traffic to your listing.
Yeah,
that's going to push you up, and trust from other properties. That it all works together, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, 100% spot on. We've still got 20 minutes left, guys, so keep the questions coming. I will go through as many as I can with Chris, and just do give the video a little like if you haven't already.
Some hard ones.
Yeah, and get the questions up to some good stuff, because if you don't, in the last 5 minutes, I'm just going to hit Chris with a whole barrage of questions and try and suck some real information out of him. But Minimo, what do you think about reciprocal links?
I mean, if I give a link, you give a link, I like it. And larger sites do it all the time. I don't see anything wrong with it, but I wouldn't base your whole link building campaign based around it. So that would be my stance on that.
Josh McAdams, and so Josh, we asked the question earlier. I can't quite remember what it was, but that's just for sending traffic to money site. Oh, it was about the mass page builder thing. Are people sending traffic to those mass page builder pages?
I would assume.
Why not?
Of course they are. Yes, I would.
Yeah.
And any page or any site that I'm building, whether it's just for link purposes, whether it's just a in-between to an affiliate page, I still am going to set up the GMB. I'm still going to send traffic. Everything is still the same. Everything, in my opinion.
Next one, Tom Stanbury. What's working well at the moment with niche relevant expired domain names? What are you doing with them?
Well, they're funny. I mean, I've noticed really mixed results with expired domains and 301 redirects, whether it's non-existent power or power, and building on them. The long story short with expired relevant domains is which is hard to find, aged domains with almost no links. And if you want to test an expired domain in a niche that hasn't been built on in a while, launch a page that the main website was about with the H1 and the title about that page. And if it ranks immediately, then you have a good site to build on further. So, that's my opinion.
You're basically repurposing it, letting it sit, seeing if it works, and then you'll do something with it.
Well, if I grab a site it has to be in the niche, right?
Yeah.
But when I look in the way back, I look and see what, titles were there before, and I'll launch a page that was launched before, but just with the title. And if I could get in the SERP, I know that it's good to build on.
Yeah. Interesting. I like to hear how other people are doing it as well. On a personal level, I've got my own process and stuff like that that I do. But yeah, it's pretty much testing it first before you spend too much time on it, because I think it's hit or miss with expired domain names. I've seen some, good results, and seen some, nothing happening. You're like, shit. What you don't want to do is waste 6 months of your life, putting a lot of time and effort into something that doesn't work. So yeah, just be careful.
I like just age. If I can get aged with a low amount of links, that's what I really like.
Yeah.
And then hit it, and then start the traffic. So
yeah. James Moore, SitePop, CTR tool. Any of you use it?
What's a SitePop and a CTR tool? I don't use either of those. I haven't heard of them. So
nah, I've not heard of those. I think what I can safely say though is things like
breaking up a little bit. Could be me.
Don't disappear again. Nah, I'm not sure who it is. It could have been me that time. But yeah, I don't tend to use any of those tools. Cert clicks, Mass Planner, anything like that is not working well for me. Shingora is back again. How to find if you're the victim of spam attacks?
Well, the two things, like I mentioned before, as soon as if there was a client that is having issue, right to the server logs. The very next piece is are we noticing anything in rankings and something significant? And then I would just start combing through the source code of the page, see what's hidden, see what's going on, start looking for PHP vulnerabilities, look at the server. That's what I would do. So check the server, check your rankings.
Yeah. There's tools out there where you can quickly see what's going on anyway. So yeah, Harry Peters does creating new websites or blogs using tools like Wix, simplesitelyolasite with links back to your money site still work. So Web 2.0s, are they still working?
Depending on the niche, I still like Web 2.0s, as you can call them buffers. For local, I like to use them as citation pages as the first couple of links, I think, and I like to grab the names before my competitors can. But as far as your main link building strategy, no, I think it should go with other types of links as well.
Yeah.
Edit, guest posts, things of that lines.
I think a key part of what you said there, I really like, though, is making sure that your competition can't grab those,
right?
Even if it's just for that process. But I think I certainly use Web 2.0s for powering up guest posts and stuff like that. So I'll use a tool like SEO Autopilot, which will create a whole bunch of Web 2.0s. And I'm quite happy if I've got a guest post out there and I'm not quite happy with the position and the power of it, I'll blast it with Web 2.0s because I'm not putting myself at risk. The guest post provider will be at risk, not me.
That's its own little network, though, SEO Autopilot. I like Auto-Click Magic. It builds like all of your 120 of the, main, like WordPress and all those types of sites.
Yeah.
Isn't SEO Autopilot, it's its own little network, kind of like Money Robot or...
It's got its own little network as well, but it does have a lot of the standard Web 2.0s on there as well, and works very, very well. I just like it being automated, but but the obviously the one you mentioned I've never heard of, but I'm sure it's probably a similar tool or even potentially a better tool that does something there.
I still like Ranker X and GSA, for automated stuff, Tier 4 and stuff. I still like the old school stuff, I like
Ranker X. I've heard a lot of people saying that, and I like some of the old tools as well. But next question, Masood. Hi, Craig. I see competitors using backlinks from edu domains, which are hard to get and is a paid thing, but they get deleted in less than a month. Tell me your idea about this. Is it safe? I mean, I wouldn't be paying for links that dropped out after a month. I don't see any value in doing that. I'm not sure. If you're buying edu domain, why are they dropping after a month?
That's a good question.
I would be questioning the vendor, because I think when you buy a link, of course, websites go down, rebrand, and go away or go bust or whatever it might be. I would be questioning the vendor on that, because I've never really heard of anyone getting edu domains and they drop off after a month. I would be staying well clear of that crap. I mean, it's not going to be risky as such in terms of you getting a penalty if the links are dropping off. I would just be feeling that it's not value for money. Would you agree with that, Chris?
I agree, but I love .edus and .gov for affiliate space. I like those link types.
Yeah.
I love
them. Best black hat tactics for affiliates.
Paid to a cloaked page. That's what I like. I mean, as far as affiliate is concerned, I mean, I stay in my lane as far as for a very particular niche, and it has to do with timeshares and travel clubs. So, I mean, as far as affiliates, it's more of affiliate / lead generation. So, I mean, that's really all I really know about. I'm starting to dabble with other things, but as far as affiliate, that's all I know,
So when you do, so just a quick question for you on the paid to a cloaked page. Do you think that, because I used to do a lot of cloaking with paid traffic on Bing for a hotel affiliate niche, because Bing, you could put in a mismatched URL in Bing and they would still let it go. What's your thoughts on the kind of affiliate people out there who've got all of it? Do you think they're able to determine paid to a cloaked page that easily? Or do you think that's nearly impossible for them to determine?
Well, I think it depends on the type of cloaking that you're doing. I touched on it very briefly. A lot of the people that are cloaking. Well, some of them are using time-based event scripts, right? And then redirecting. There are new non-time-based, things that are happening. They're non-time based, and it can redirect, and Google will come to the page, render the DOM, and then move on. You see, so it's the time-based scripts that you're running into trouble. But to answer your question, I don't think that they can tell, but I think that the older tactics with the time-based events, I think they're onto that basically.
Yeah, so keep on top of the type of tactic you're using. Because I know a lot of guys that were doing really well with the Bing paid stuff and cloaking the link, but something like CG affiliates were quite easily able to determine some of the stuff that was going on, and it's friends that were doing it, not me personally, but and they kept getting caught and they kept getting their accounts banned when it hit a certain point. And so just be careful. There's probably a sloppy tactic that they were using, but Chris is the man there, so keep on top of it and do something that works. Mr. Miyagi is asking, so you mentioned earlier about Facebook groups in terms of rather than going to Black Hat World and whatnot. Can you recommend any?
Obviously you can come to my group, Chris Palmer SEO, but I don't want to. I don't want to give you a name of somewhere without telling it. I don't want to. I'm not putting someone's name out. I don't want to do that.
Safe option. And I'm sure if you maybe follow up with Chris later and schmooze him, you might be able to get an answer. But doing it publicly in a video is not always the best idea as well. If hordes of people go there and turn the group into a shit show.
Then, I talked to Chris. I don't need,
yeah. So but as Chris said, you'll feel free to join his group.
It's private. You can ask him there. I might be more willing to give an answer.
Yeah. So that's hopefully going to help you, Mr. Miyagi. Comedy Viral, does PBNs help for increasing traffic?
Well, it's a link. I think that links are very helpful for a boost in organic ranking. I think that it needs to be an actual private network. But yeah, links help with traffic over the course of time because it could possibly increase your organic ranking. So yes and no. It just depends. That's my answer there. Depends on the link.
Yeah. But there's a couple of guys asking, is this going to be recorded? Yes, it will stay on YouTube. After this event, you'll be able to watch this back. So if you have to jump off, there's a couple of people who said they have to go. You will be able to catch up with everything at a later date. 2 seconds. Nope, you're not going to answer that one. What do you think about content uniqueness? How much % of content can be plagiarized?
Well, this is very easy to find out too. And the percentages may change over the course of time, but it's very simple. Get a page, copy the contents of a page, launch the page, get it indexed in Search Console, and then down at the very bottom, there's a blue little bar, and it says omitted from search results. At what percentage does that omitted from search results go away? I believe that currently it's somewhere around 60% unique, and that omitted will go away. But this could change, and it's very easy to stay up on.
Perfect. Shaun Mitchell's asking, do you think G-stacks work?
I think that they're a foundation. They're not a magic bullet. I think they're excellent for buffers. And other than that, they're not a magic potion. I think they act as a powerful in-between. I use them as buffers. But it's not the G-stack. It's the lineup with the Web 2s, with the AWS, with the Yahoo Business, plus the traffic equals a good foundation.
Yeah. Perfect answer. Shane is asking, is there any Black Hat tactics you've tested in the casino niche?
Unfortunately, no. To be honest, no. I'm not in the casino niche.
Yeah, casino niche is just Black Hat everything, expired domain names, PBNs, everything, because no one's going to like to casino or gambling websites willingly, but money talks, and sometimes because you are a casino, you're shafted because of that. You pay slightly more, but yeah, you can ultra competitive, but.
The SERPs fluctuate so much, and that tells you your answer, in my opinion. You're winning one day, and then the next day you're not. So I'm sure that it's all the same guys, though, the same SERP, to be honest.
So Olaf Russell's asking, is Neil Patel the best or absolute best?
I think he's an excellent marketer. I think that he has done an excellent job. I think, I don't see anything wrong with him. I like him. I think he's winning. I've seen his traffic going to his site. I'd like that traffic.
I think Neil Patel gets a hard time by a lot of people out there wanting to slam him for multiple reasons, and I think most of that probably down to jealousy. Of course, he's jealousy. He can't. People always say, he rips off other people's content and he does this. So what? Like everyone's ripping everyone's content. Like we're not the first guys to say that CTR, and getting traffic works. It's no one owns that shit. Like
you hear it and then you test it.
Yeah, test it and then talk about it. Does that mean we copied Neil Patel or whoever the hell said it? Absolutely not. So I think it's quite harsh, and I think he's a very wealthy man and does a hell of a lot more than you would probably think out with what he actually does on his own website. So, very, very good at what he does.
I think he might not be the best SEO, but he's a great marketer.
Yeah. And he's got a team round about him doing a hell of a lot of good work as well. And I think for any kind of scale, building a team or using VAs or whatever the hell he's got in the background, he's also worked very well at that, and clearly has that ability.
When your resources are that long, you can have your hands in all kinds of piles, so it's beneficial, I'm sure. But moving on, I like to talk about other men. Let's get a good question here, my guys.
Yeah. Is there any? I'm just trying to find a real, because we've not got long to go. Cave Shadow, is Google still allowing fake GMB accounts?
Well, I'm sure. Of course, absolutely. Multiple. But I think you need to make sure that your SIP trunking is on point. I think it all starts with that. And like I mentioned in the very beginning, you need to have trusted information first before you can start launching. And it's a process, and it takes time, and it takes resources. So yes.
Can you tell us of any Black Hat SEO courses or some resources to learn about some more of this stuff? Where are you learning from, Chris?
Getting my head cracked. A lot of it is just going to the forums, going on the, just over the course of time and trying things and just losing and losing and losing. That's where I've learned a lot of it. As far as courses and being Black Hat, anybody that has a strategy, it works one day and it's gone the next. And anybody that has a working system is not going to sell it, or a long-term working system where they're really getting it. So
yeah,
that's just my opinion.
I've got a guy here, GBR. Is Darren Westwood the king of FIFA? So that's directed at me. He's not, and he doesn't reply to his Facebook messages, so he's a pussy. But someone else actually asked, and I don't know where the question has went, what is the craziest Black Hat thing you've seen working most recently? What has blown your mind? Give us a teaser, something that you're not giving it all away, but you went, fuck, this is awesome.
It really stems to the cloud app platforms. Mm-hmm. I think generating the traffic with the cloud app deployment programs is very beneficial, and I'm seeing a lot of it within the local space. I think that those cloud app deployment programs that you can utilize the IP addresses, I think that's the next wave of Black Hat that you're going to see that's like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like some of the applications that I'm seeing, I think that that's the craziest, you know, for CTR manipulation and traffic and leaving reviews on GMBs that are sticking, like deploying those IP ranges that are Samsung and Google. I think that's the craziest Black Hat stuff that's working right now that I was like, wow, teach me more.
One other thing I just want to answer here is from this ungrateful piece of rude crap. You're not asking any relevant questions that are worthwhile wasting our time answering. So that's why it's not a fix. Your questions are absolute garbage. They are not suitable for this particular webinar. They are very basic. So do not be rude. Be nice, and you may get something answered.
Oh, I didn't even see any of the questions. I was just looking at the screen.
No. It's me that obviously picks the questions, but cool. I think what happens is the guy's asking very, very basic stuff, and it's not suited to this type of webinar, and he's a little bit frustrated. He's asking things like, does exact match domain still work? The answer is no. Doesn't work that effectively. So there you go. But
good answer, Craig.
Yeah. So please talk about building PBNs more. Do you still use PBNs, Chris?
I buy them, you know, so I don't build them. I don't like to manage them. I don't want anything to do with that type of madness. But as far as buying links, I might be guilty of that. Yes.
So in terms of, you know, doing Black Hat stuff, at the moment, you know, I know you're saying you buy links and you buy this and buy that. And I think that's a great strategy because it would probably cost you about $400 to probably by the time you get someone to put a template on it and pay a VA to copy, you know, all the content onto a PBN and make it worthwhile is $400 when you can just lay down $100 for the link, and you don't have to worry about managing or maintaining it. But what things are you actually doing, you know, in terms of Black Hat stuff? You know, you outsource links, you probably outsource your content, you probably, you know, outsource a whole bunch of other stuff. So what are you actually doing on the websites that you work on?
The only thing that I'm doing is taking care of the on page, figuring out cheaper ways to generate traffic, affecting the click through, running Facebook campaigns, basically just traffic CTR and the on page. Everything else to me is if I can have someone else that I trust help me with a project, it's like, what is your time worth? You know? So I try to push it off as much as I possibly can. I'd rather spend money than time. So
yeah, I think you've only got X amount of time in a day, and a lot of this stuff is absolute donkey work, which is why I think what you're doing is very similar to what I do. I'll pay out money for certain things that I don't feel are suited to the time that I've got, and focus more on some of the more intricate things like CTR or, you know, fucking about with some of that.
I'd rather skip rocks at the pond with my son, you know, like it's like I could be outside drawing chalk smiley faces out here. I don't have time for this stuff. You know? Priorities, you know?
Yeah, exactly. What is the minimum time that you've ranked a website, an affiliate website? What is the quickest you've ever ranked something?
30 days.
30 days.
30 days. I mean, I've been able to jump, but then the rankings fall just as fast, you know, and that's really what we're working on, is trying to determine X amount of traffic, X amount of clicks, X amount of links at a particular time will send me the boost, right, in an affiliate niche for a particular offer, and I will win for how long. We're trying to get the timing down, because if I could hurry up and jump before an offer launches and get that traffic immediately and get 100 sales quick, who cares what the site does? But I'm just noticing the stuff that we're doing is just trying to get quick wins.
Yeah.
So it's been faster, but generally 30 days doing very manipulative things that I know the site's going to have trouble with. For client stuff, I look for somewhere around 4 months. 4 months if the site already has some age and some authority.
Yeah.
To see some traffic. I mean, we don't track rankings and links and stuff. We track traffic.
Yeah. Best way to do it, especially if it's for clients and whatnot.
Yeah.
Before we go, we will answer a couple of more questions. Just
Sure.
make sure you do like and subscribe. But I just want to ask this. So this particular mortgage broker dropped 5 spots for mortgage broker in February by some kind of Google update. They were top 1 organic spot for 5 years. They had links drop. They added a few new links. Social media posting presence in Google showed an increase of 200 people from 280 to 600 last 2 months. What would you suggest for that person? So they've slipped down
I run into this a lot. I'm sure you have some type of site audit template. You need to look at who's winning now, who's in those top spots where you were, and then you need to run through your, whatever checks that you do. Okay, this is the H1, this is the URL, here's the pages, how many pages, here's the age, what was the change, where are they beating me, and then you need to apply it to your page. But it's very simple. If you notice a drop, you need to be analyzing who's winning. So that's what I would do.
I think also you can use tools like POP, Quora, Surfer SEO, things like that to see whether your on page is as good as the guys that are in the top position or top 5 positions or top 10 positions, and improve, because it may just have been a case of you've sat there and you've had it for 5 years and someone's just come in and done slightly better. But again, what I would also say, and I know we've spoken about it a lot on this, it's my belief that it's quite easy to get to the top 5 or whatever in Google. I think traffic and click-through rate and everything else is really what secures those top positions. And of course, the number 1 guy is going to smash that out of the park because of the fortunate position they're in. But I think sometimes you also have to add some of that in to be able to get into the kind of top 3 slots. So it's something worth looking at as well, rather than just throwing links at it and tweaking your content. But
Facebook,
yeah,
start running traffic. Could certainly help you. I mean, I would definitely look and see what the difference is. But I really like that, a measurement tool that's going to analyze for you to do run all those checks. I think you mentioned, I forget what you said, but I know it's a measurement tool. I know it's a measurement tool.
Comedy Viral, just an appreciation. Thank you. Following you for so long, Palmer. Love you.
Awesome. That's awesome. Thank you, Comedy Viral.
Comedy Viral. So I'm going to ask you one last question, Chris,
Sure.
Before we go. Then we're going to go. No more questions, guys. Just please do like, subscribe, share, whatever. But I'm going to ask Chris to share one absolute knowledge bomb. I'm not going to pick what that knowledge bomb should be. Is there something you can share with the audience that you think you want to share or you'd love to share, other than what you've told us already?
Ooh.
Could be anything, GMB, something.
I'll give away one. On Google gives you a Excel or a sheet file, complimentary. It's for franchises, not in the US, but if you're an international guy, which I know there's a lot of them out there, they have the sheet and it lays everything out: longitude, latitude, name, business name, everything. You can go out, scrape names and addresses from places like wherever you want to get names and addresses. Load that sheet up with 200, 300, 400 names, addresses, longitude, latitude. It's right on the Google site, and then upload it. And you're going to get 2 or 3 of those to win and be verified without a postcard. That's a free one.
That's what we wanted. That's what we wanted. Kim Robinson, thank you very much. Guys, if you do have any other questions, you can put them in the comments after the video, and I will certainly go through and try and answer as many of them as I possibly can. Hopefully, you guys have had some value from this particular show. I'd probably love to do it again, Chris. I think it's something we could probably do on a regular basis, and probably not call it Black Hat. It could just be like GMB shit, link building, and we can just go into intricate details. If there's an audience there for that, which I'm sure there will be because people are loving you all over the place, then we should maybe do it on a semi-regular basis if you're up for it.
I love it. Yeah. I'm on here. I try to pump out videos every day to try to help,
Yeah.
I'm doing what you're doing. I'm trying to build,
Trying to build it all up. Yeah. So hopefully I can get Chris back on in the near future, and we'll dig a bit deeper into certain aspects. I know a lot of people were asking about link building and various other specific stuff, which I wasn't being rude to just, some of the stuff like, is reciprocal linking and stuff like that. It's not great. So we'll go into it in more detail.
They didn't get into, I thought it was going to be I thought there would be more, juicy Black Hat stuff, which I would have been happy to spill the beans, but,
Yeah, no, we will do that. I think we have to dig deeper. Obviously, the audience determines the questions, and it gives us an idea of what the audience is like, and then obviously we can help bring them up to the next level. So make sure that you do subscribe to the channel. There will be announcements mentioned when I can next get Chris on, if we can stop him drawing chalk stuff and stuff like that out in the yard. So. So no, much appreciated, Chris. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
And guys, thank you very much for everyone who came along and contributed. It's been a great hour and 12 minutes, and we'll see you again soon.
Awesome, Craig. Thank you.
Thanks
for having me on.
Cheers.
Thank you, brother.